In this video, we're going to take the derivative of g, and you can see we're going to have a product rule, and a quotient rule all going on in here. So g prime of z, this part here is going to be a product rule. So let's go ahead and set that up. And I'm going to use brackets just for each piece so you can see them. So I'm going to hold the 3z to the 7th constant times the derivative with respect to z of e to the z plus, now I'm going to hold this part constant, e to the z times the derivative with respect to z of 3z to the 7th. So that's just that first piece. This one's going to get a little long, so bear with me. Minus, so that's that minus symbol right there. We'll take care of distributing it later, but we do need to pay attention to it. Now we're going to hold the 2z squared constant times the derivative with respect to z of sine of z. Plus, this is another product rule on this guy. Now I'm going to hold the sine of z constant. Let's put a set of parentheses around there. Times the derivative of 2z squared. Derivative with respect to z of 2z squared. Now we're going to have to go down to the next line. Now we have a quotient rule for this piece. Oops. So the quotient rule is the denominator, z squared plus 1 times the derivative with respect to z of the numerator minus the numerator, z, times derivative with respect to z of the denominator, z squared plus 1, all over z squared plus 1 squared. Like I said, it's a little bit long. So let's go ahead and do this piece by piece. So I'll use the brackets again so we can separate. You don't need the brackets, I'm just putting them in there to help me keep track of everything. So I have 3z squared times the derivative of e to the z, which is just e to the z, plus e to the z times the derivative of 3z squared, that's a power rule, that's going to be 21z to the 6th. And that piece is done. Minus. Next piece. 2z squared times the derivative of sine of z, which is cosine of z, plus sine of z times the derivative of 2z squared, which is for z by our power rule, plus, might be able to now fit this last little piece in here from our quotient rule. On the numerator, we're going to have a z squared plus 1 times the derivative of z, which is just 1, minus z times the derivative of z squared, which is 2z, all over z squared plus 1, the quantity squared. As you can see, there's not going to be much simplifying we can do in this one, but we have calculated the derivative. So I'm going to leave it at this point because there's not going to be a lot of canceling. We could simplify a little bit on top of this one, but there's not much we can do with these other pieces. So we're just going to go ahead and stop there. We've used the product and quotient rules to take the derivative.